So good afternoon, everybody. We're back here again, once again, for the Riverina Football League, and we're breaking new ground here today at the Gammain Sports Ground, affectionately known as the Den. It's a twilight game. It's a 4:10 start. Baz's assistant Tammy here in the box. Well, in the off-season, Tammy's produced a little baby boy called Elio. So that's the complete opposite end of the spectrum. So we've paid respect to those people that have passed away, and we've got new people coming along all the time. So congratulations, Tammy, on the birth of your bouncing baby boy. And Baz told me that I've got to say, to start the commentary, say, baby, we're back. So we're back for 2025. So Andrew, we've got Andrew Corbett here, the number one commentator in the Riverina, Baz Leffler on images, and Tammy working away in the back of the box to try and produce the best she can for you. So Andrew, last week, the Gammain Grong Malong Lions, they ventured across the border there at Brushwood, the dry Boggy Creek bred, and they went up to Kindra Park at Coolaman, and they got the Chockies 2 weeks ahead of Easter there against the Hoppers. That was a little bit unexpected, that win, or not?
Yeah, it was a very close contest the first half, and the Lions run away with it in the second half to come away with a 40-point win. There was a good result, first game of the year against a side that's going to be playing finals this year. And today they've come up against Sleaton, who had the bye last week. And the Lions will be looking to come away with a win. We've got a milestone game today for Matt Hamlin. He plays his 100th game. Matty's had only at the age of 22, has had a distinguished career. He's a premiership player in 2022. The Hutchison Medal winner in the grand final in 2022, League Best and Fairest AFL Riverina Championships in 2020, the Jim Ken Medal runner-up in 21 and 24, 3 Daniel McPherson medals with the Gammain Football Club in 21, 23 and 24, 6 RFL Teams of the Year from 2019 to 2024, and RFL Player of the Year in 2023. So at the tender age of 20 years, he's had a fantastic first 100 games.
That's a great.
Would be really excited for his next 100.
Great achievement from the young fella Matty Hamlin, Andrew. Now I'm told, Andrew, I was away last week. I was lucky enough to be down the coast, but I'd missed the Coolaman game. But talking Hamlin, well, in the off-season, Jason Hamlin stepped down as president of the club, and Ben Crookshank's taken up that role in his inaugural year. Now Ben, of course, a lot of his farming ground borders into that Hopper territory. Now, I'm told that Ben had a grin from ear to ear at the final siren last week at Kindra Park.
Oh, he was absolutely ecstatic with that victory. There was a lot of pressure going into that game, and for the Lions to get the Chockies in first grade and under 17s, Ben was very, very happy man.
Yeah, well, that's a great start to the year. Take nothing for granted in football when the Hoppers come down here later in the year, but it's not a given. We'll know that they'll give it their all. That rival between the two clubs.
To return the favour.
And of course, last night, disappointing night for the AFL, the Lions W side, Andrew, rolled by the Demons.
Yes, they went down by that solitary point in a really tough game. Wishing all the best to Lucy Anderson, who sustained a neck injury in that game, and to Abby Hamlin, who had an injury to her wrist and forearm. So those two girls, I hope they have a speedy recovery. And yes, the Lions, they had a great season, and I think that since the inauguration of the girls' footy, that's only their second loss. So they're a very strong side, and it wasn't their night on the night here last night, but they've done the club proud, and we're very thankful for their efforts, and it's been a good season of girls football, and playing off in the grand final with the Colin Gully Wagga Demons and the Brookdale Bluebells.
Right, well that's no mean feat to go through, to have such little losses as what they've had in the inauguration of that competition. And the Gully, they're proving to be quite a nemesis for both the women's and the seniors men's side in the competition. Of course, the Demons took out that premiership against the Lions last year down at Narandra on that fateful day, and of course that we've got to do battle with the Demons at the day after Anzac Day, I think it is, Andrew, at the Crossroads,
that's right,
isn't it? Right, we'll see what happens before then. Bit of a hit out today against Leeton. Andrew, what can we expect from Leeton after, been struggling a bit of late?
Yeah, well, they've got Lucas Moline, one of their local fellas has returned from West Adelaide in the Sandful. Lucas has had a great career so far, playing with the Canberra Demons, and then he moved across to play with West Adelaide in the Sandful. So he'll be a player to watch today, Lucas. He'll dominate in certain areas of the game, and they've picked up a ruckman from Tasmania there, Mitch Reeve. So we'll be looking to see that tussle between him and Dan Foley, who's coming off a great game last week against Coolaman. But they've always had good juniors coming along, and so they're going to back their juniors this year. So I'm looking for a pretty an even contest. It's warm out there, and they'll put it to the Lions.
The heat might level things a little bit, Andrew. I think I just looked there a while ago. It was about 29, but it'll drop off now. We're past the peak, but it's beyond balmy. Like it's more fitted to. You could have a swim if the pool was open.
Yes, and as the afternoon goes on and we venture into that early evening, the lights that have just been constructed the last 6 months for the Lions through their development grant, we'll get to witness them being switched on and utilise this game. But also, so I'd like to wish Brad Matters all the best, new recruit for the Lions from South Australia, from the Trinity Old Boys Scholars. He works at the RAF in Wagga, and his partner Kayla, so a new player for the Lions this year.
Umpires checking that all is in readiness. Takes a lot to get three sides on the paddock in the Riverina Football League nowadays, Andrew. Well, it does. It's the same all your life, but
it's a lot of work. Yep.
Umpire holds the ball up. Take it away, Andrew. 2025.
Dan Foley in the ruck with Reeves. Reeves wins that tab down. Clearance by Moline there for Leeton. In going hard is Tommy Anderson. He's copped one high, and he's as tough as old nails, Tommy.
Yeah, he's always committed. Not surprising that he gets barreled over. He's clutching his wrist.
He had a great game last week for the Lions. He's probably one of their best players. It looks like he may have a dislocated finger or something.
Yeah, he's run himself straight to the bench for treatment.
So Josh Walsh to take that kick.
So the trainers will be in the thick of it in the first minute.
So Josh Walsh to take the kick, sends this one long and high to centre forward. Under it is Tommy Benulis. Ball's punched down by Ryan for the Leeton, and Benulis is wrapped up in a tackle there. And
big
the
game.
Umpire's called a palm off against Moline. 50-metre penalty.
Oh, yeah, we've
free kick to Moline.
Got a 50-metre tariff against us, Andrew, already. Tariffs are in the news everywhere.
Yes, yep.
I'll call that a tariff. Tommy B, big game at Kindra Park, Andrew.
Yes, he was, as the game wore on, he got stronger and stronger and finished with 3 goals. As Moline stuffs that kick up, and it's a contest there at centre half back, and Jack Sussay dives on that ball, and the umpire will ball it up. Umpire Hoffett used to play for North Wagga, Gavin Hoffett, and Andrew Tuff from West Wyalong, the 2 umpires today. The ball's on the ground there, and Leeton are diving in on it, and umpire calls for another ball up.
Great to see ex-players step into that umpiring role.
Yes, that's what we need, Guy. Boost those umpiring ranks. As the ball's tapped down and it hasn't moved at all, it's another ball up in that area.
Be looking for a clearing kick here by either side. No effect from the wind here today. It's only a little slight breeze.
Reeves taps that back, but Shannon Butterfield kicks it forward, picked up by Tom Benulis. Dodges around one, gets a hand pass to Matt Hamlin in the centre of the ground. Kicks this one long and high. Out the back is Jake Taylor, and he's taken the mark. He'll have the first shot on goal for the Lions.
Yeah, Jake Taylor read it best. Matt Hamlin had time to kick it long. He could almost see that he could clear the Leeton guys, and Jake Taylor positioned himself nicely for that. He'll kick from about 20 metres out, bit past the top of the square. Slight angle, won't worry him. No wind effect. Drop punt. Goal umpire doesn't move. It's a goal of the Lions.
So the first one on the board for the Lions. And the prominent players involved there, Matt Hamlin, Tom Bernulis.
Yeah, no.
Lucas Hattie on the wing had a good game last week. He was a lot of pressure acts from Lucas. Foley in the ruck. No one dominated that one. Jesse Lander out the back to Shannon Butterfield to Matt Hamlin. On to Dan Foley. On to Jesse Lander. He sends this long into the forward line for the Lions. Coming out is Sid White. And he takes a chest mark. Sid White's had a big pre-season in the gym. And he's a hell of a lot stronger player than last year. Another focal point up there for the Lions as he comes in with his kick.
Players like it. Another goal to the Lions.
Good to see Tommy Anderson returning to the field.
Sid White's looking pretty trim on it too, Andrew.
Yes, there's a few boys there with the old six-packs, so to speak. Looking very fit, the young fellas.
Of course, the Lions kicking to the right of screen, the Waterview Street end of the ground. We wait for the ball to be retrieved. Yeah, talking to Lucas Hattie, Andrew, he'll be looking to cement his cement his position in this first grade side, I guess.
Yes. Lucas just missing out on the grand final spot there last year. He'll be looking to cement his spot in the side, and yeah, he's still eligible to play under 17s, Lucas, but I don't think they'll see him very often in the under 17s. Foley and Reeves in the ruck. It's been pretty tight, the contest between those two so far, as it's out the back, gathered by Rainbird. He's wrapped up in a tackle, and umpire Andrew Tuff will ball this one up.
Big wins to both the 17s and the second grade, even though a lot of those second grade players came in off the paddock like the picnic horses, Andrew.
Yes, they didn't do much pre-season at all. As Lucas Hattie sends this forward, and in front there of Jeff Peck is young fella from Leeton there, Cooper Jones, as he kicks into the midfield, gathered by Moline. On to Reeves, steps around one, comes back through the centre, sends it long. It's going deep into the forward line, bounces in front of Sam Martin. It's a race for the ball. Speed there from Joe Foley, gathers it in, shows it to the opposition. Handballs to Josh Walsh, he kicks wide and finds Jackson Conley in front of the Leeton box.
Diving mark on the boundary.
He comes inside, finds Shannon Butterfield. The Lions will look to play on here. He goes back to Dan Foley. Joe Foley got the big job on Jade Hodge today. The youngster and the old fella. Ball goes wide out to Burhop, back to Jack Sussay. Burhop runs down, kicks one into Tom Anderson, takes a mark in his hands, plays on. Chips one short, finds Shannon Butterfield. Just shy of centre half forward. He looks to go to the tall timber down deep. At the back is Sid White. It falls into his hands and he's got his second.
Good link play from the Lions, and then in the end, Sid White, he read it best. Ball carried the pack again. Didn't panic, wait till the ball came to him. Had time to casually, could have given it off. Didn't need to. He's the focal point there. He's the goal scorer. Result, goal to the Lions.
As Jarvis Pritchard comes onto the ground, his first game in senior football of the year. His first debut last year was against, I think it may have been Leeton, down at Leeton. So Jarvis having his second game of senior football. He's another one that's still eligible for the 17s. Foley and Reeves in the ruck. Foley wins that down. Reeves gathers, and he's held. Goes to Rainbird. Held not, didn't have possession. He sends it long and low. Coming out is Seb Hamlin. Punches the ball away from Doyle. Race for the ball here by Leeton. Gathered by Moline there. Gets a hand pass forward. It's kicked high. Sitting in us is Hodge and Foley. Spoiled by Jack Sussay, and umpire calls for a ball up there.
Yeah, he said, give it to me. He said, you're in a stalemate here. Just the odd player with hands on hips early, gasping for breath.
Doyle and following the ruck as Moline grabs that out of the ruck and he scores Leeton's first goal. Very astute player around the ball.
That just shows you his skill, Andrew, what he can do.
He was in West Adelaide's leadership group, and he played some very good football over there for West Adelaide, off half-back and through the midfield. Very dangerous.
The Lions 3 straight goals, the Crows 1 goal. Bit over 10 minutes gone here in the first quarter at the Den, season 2025. Can't believe how quick footy's back, Andrew.
Yes, it doesn't take long once you start that pre-season for it to come around. Foley and Reeves in the ruck, gathered by Rainbird, on to Rourke in that occasion. He kicks forward. And
free kick. Yeah, over the shoulder, I think, against Seb on that occasion. Umpire calling Seb back, but he elects to play on.
Goes to Taj Doyle, shot on goal there from young fella from Leeton. I think it might be young Rees.
Yeah, if he had his time again, he might have played to the whistle and got Seb back on his mark, and because he wasn't that, might have been within kicking distance, but anyway, all that's history. Kick in, be over there deep in the pocket. It'll be coming out of the area sponsored by Grain Corp and Harris Rural Contracting. They're very busy spreading lime and everything in anticipation of this break, Andrew.
Yes, it's got very dry here as the ball's kicked in. Rees takes that mark, but he's pinged for dropping the ball. Didn't quite have possession of it as Foley handballs out the back to Matty Hammond. Kicks on looking for Jarvis Pritchard. Follows on, gets a handball. On to Jackson Conley. Dodges around one, gets one over the top. It's gathered by Leeton there and by a good tackle by Tom Anderson. So he's showing no effects of that knock in the first minute.
No, he's recovered. He normally has a quick recovery time.
Doyle and Foley in the ruck. Doyle gathers, kicks this long, sitting under it is his brother Taj Doyle. Ball's on the ground there, and again, main opponent Zach Buhop's wrapped up in a tackle. Jeffro Peck in the ruck for the Lions. Dan Foley's moved forward. Reeves takes this ruck. Reckons he was held. Umpire says play on. Gathered by Leeton there. Tackled by Tom Anson. Stolen by Jeffro Peck. Kicks forward to Jesse Landon. He plays on quickly. Gets one out to the back to Matt Hamlin. Back to Jesse Lander. He kicks this long towards goal. It's going to bounce in the square. Dan Foley kicks it off his knee, off his shin, and it's a goal.
Yeah, Dan was just thought, I'll give this a little help just to make sure.
So the Lions have got a couple over the back so far.
Yeah, it's carried. It almost looks like it's, helped by the breeze, but according to the flags over there, there's not much breeze assistance from that direction, Andrew. So the Lions are 4 straight, and the Crows 1 goal. 13 minutes gone, first quarter here at the Den. Water boys are pretty busy, or water runners. We might have some girls amongst them. I can't see it, but water's the number 1 job at the moment.
Rucked up again, Peck and Reeves. Ball pushed forward by the Lions, grabbed by Shannon Butterfield. He dives in on it. The umpires call for a... No, he said play on.
Tom Anderson got it out eventually.
And he's called for a ball up. Reeves. He's a good, strong opponent, Reeves. He's been pretty effective there in the ruck for Leeton so far. Gets one out, but coming through is Jesse Landon, gathered by Leeton. On to Rainbird, out wide to Moline. Dodges around Burhop, back to Rainbird. Gets a handball over the top to DePoli, another one of their recruits, and it goes long to Hodge, and he takes a mark 40 metres out on a slight angle.
He'll have to kick from, he'll kick from round about 40. He'll have to let go at 40, so he'll need a good strike. He's pretty confident, Andrew.
Yeah, he's a very good kicker. I think he was third in the goal kicking last year in the,
that
the
says
RFL.
That says it all. He's got a nice approach to the drop punt. Yeah, he likes it off the boot.
Straight through the middle.
Yep. Yeah, nice clean kick.
So pretty even contest so far.
The Lions 4 goals straight. The Crows 2 goals straight. Not surprising. It's good kicking. Conditions are perfect, except it's a little bit warm. But like I said, we're past the peak now. You can feel a little bit of just a little bit of a cooling here in the commentary box, even in the last half hour. Ball back in the middle.
Peck and Reeves in the ruck. Played at Heidelberg in the Northern Football League, Reeve, and it comes across from Tasmania. And taps that one out the back to Rainbird and on to Moline. Kicks it forward, but he's miskicked to Seb Helen and marks it across centre half back. Leeton challenging there in the clearances so far. It goes out wide to Matt Hamlin. Loping left foot kick forward, looking for his brother Dan. The ball's on the ground. Gathered by Leeton there, breaks one tackle, but it's out of bounds.
We'll get a throw in out there in front of the Jason Lindsell Electrical. Of course, they've been responsible for a lot of the work here in the off-season with the new lights and the wiring of the new facilities out the back, which we'll talk about later in the year.
Tapped down, gathered by Tom Anderson. Back to Jesse Lander, his kick smothered. Gathered by Leeton, they kick forward. Marking attempt there by Seb Hamlin on to Joe Foley. Hand passes across to Josh Walsh, on to Sam Martin. He can come through the centre of the ground, has one bounce. Kicks it forward, looking for Benulis, and he marks strongly.
Yeah, had his name written all over it since it left Sam Martin's boot, Andrew.
Yep. He was going to clunk that a mile off.
Yep. Yeah, the Crows are going to have to tighten up on Tom Benulis. Can't do much when it's delivered like that, though. Good delivery, Sam Martin.
Got the 3 goals last week, Tom. And he's just missed that one to the right.
Sprayed that one a little bit.
Came off that nasty foot injury in last year's grand final. It's great to see him back playing football. Leeton bring this one in. Looking high, looking for Seb Hamlin sits under that one. Gathered by Lucas Hattie. On to Sam Martin. Finds Jackson Conley. Chips one short, but it's cut off by Moline. He was lurking in that half-back area. He looks to go in field. It's a great kick and finds Rees there in the centre of the ground. Just held up here by the Lions. Bit of indecision, but he's got one coming forward at him. Young Seymour, he marks on that far wing in front of Jacob Taylor. Sends this one long. Pack forming there. Flying high was Seb Hamlin. Can't take the mark. The ball's on the ground. And the umpire will call for a ball up.
Seb Hamlin's in everything in that back line at the moment, Andrew, in the opener.
Yeah, he's got a good tussle there on young Taj Doyle. Maybe similar age. Peck and Rees in the ruck, but gathered by Josh Walsh. Kicks this one high. Under this is Brad Matters. Tries to keep his feet. Gathered by Leeton there. They kick this one forward. Norman picks it up, but he's put it down the throat of Josh Walsh. Looks to go wide in front of the scoreboard. Finds Matt Hamlin. Plays on. He's got Benulis Tommy on the far half forward flank. Kicks looking for Sid White, but he's cut off there by Leeton on the ground. Regathers. Ball in dispute. Gathered by Jacob Taylor. Looks to come inside. Ball spills free. Gathered by Moline. On to Rainbird. He can chip wide. Find young Seymour. He holds it up. Looks to come back to Rainboard. Bird in the centre of the ground. Got numbers on the far side. Goes long, but coming in is Matt Hamlin. The ball's on the ground. Dispute there between him and Rogers, gathered by Rees, gets a hand pass forward. It's on the ground, back to Matt Hamlin from Jake Taylor. He's kicked forward, finds Dan Foley across centre forward, chips one over the top to Tom Anderson. He plays on, looking for Sid White on a lead. And it's a good strong mark to Sid White, deep in that far forward pocket for the Lions.
He's right over on that noble pocket. He's going to have I don't see any leads. He's going to have a direct shot on goal here, Andrew. Only about 10 metres in from the boundary. He'll kick from around about 40. Comes in, right foot, drop punt. Goal umpire doesn't move, in my opinion. That's it. Goal to the Lions.
Great goal. That's 3 to Sid White in the first quarter.
His body language was positive, Andrew. He took that mark and he had eyes for the goal. He wasn't looking to give it off. He knew he had it under control.
And that'll give him a lot of confidence. He's been doing a lot of work on his goal kicking, and back to the centre ground. Peck in the ruck. Rees has had a spell. It looks like Rogers come into the ruck, I think, for
the Lions 5-1. The Crows 2 goals straight.
Peck taps that down. Ball's on the ground. Ball come forward, leading out strongly is Bernulis. Similar position to his last mark.
Yeah, once again a bullet pass from Tom Anderson. Tom Anderson cleared it out, picked it up out of the centre and pinned his ears back and had eyes only for Bernulis. Tommy Bernulis, he'll let go from inside the 50. Just inside the 50, he'll step and lets it go. Hits it high. Offline, one behind.
Jackson Steele to bring this in. Kicks long and high. Numbers here for the Lions. Under it is Bernulis. Almost takes the mark. He's wrapped up by Moline. Out the back to Seb Hamlin. On to Jesse Lander. Kicks this one high. Matt Hamlin still adjusting his boot in the centre of the ground from that previous shot at goal, but ball's gathered by Reeves here for Leeton. He goes wide, but coming through is Burhop. Can't take the mark. Gathered by Moline. Goes short. Tries to pick out McCallum. He gathers onto Doyle. Breaks the tackle. Sends this long. Hodge and the young Foley, Joe here. Joe Spoils coming through with Sam Martin. He can't gather it up. Hodge has a running shot at goal. It rolls and rolls. It's through from behind.
He just needed a little bit better break on it, but pretty good effort from that situation there.
Quickly brought in by Brad Matters. Goes wide to the far side and finds Dan Foley on a strong lead. Looks to come back inside. Finds Jeffro Peck. Takes the mark. Handballs quickly to Matt Hamlin. Lions look to switch. Sends this one in long and low, looking for Hunter Crozier, who's come onto the ground. Gathered by Moline again. He gets a hand pass away to his Leeton teammate there in DePoli. Sends this one forward. Spoiled by Sam Martin there. Ball's on the ground there. Dan Foley makes the tackle. Rees tries to pick it up. Big bump there by Matters on Rees. Back to Sam Martin. He chips one short. Inside to Seb Hamlin. He can switch across to Lucas Hattie on this side, but he goes to centre half back. Finds Josh Walsh. Over the top to Sam Hamlin here. Lions running. A stumble there from Lucas. Gets his hand pass away. Lions mucking around here. Gathered by Matt Hamlin in his 100 games. Chips this forward. Looking for Sid White. Hand pass on to Zach Burhop. Sends this high. Looking for Bernulis. He sits under this one. And he's had a little push in the back there from young Ryan. And umpire Gathan Hoffert has awarded a free kick to Tom Bernulis. He'll go back and line up for his first.
Not much argument there from the Crows players, Andrew.
Yeah, it's pretty noticeable.
Umpire Hoffert was right on it, right under it. Tommy Bernulis will kick from around about 30, a bit less, dead in front. Yeah, bread and butter goal. Over the goal umpire's head. The Lions 6-2, 38. Crows 2-1, 13. Bit over 24 minutes gone here in the first quarter at the Den. Once again, water's very popular. Water's a popular drink with you too, isn't it, Baz?
Absolutely.
Except Friday night, when you make an exception for Friday night, I believe.
Absolutely.
You've got to make some exceptions in life.
I reckon the lad from Tasmania will be hot out there with the long sleeves on.
Yeah, you don't see that much. You don't see it a lot in the wintertime, let alone on a balmy afternoon like this. You might thought he's still in Tasmania, Drew.
Yes, but he's had a good start to the game. Him and Dan Foley's been a really good contest, and ball comes to the ground there, gathered by DePoli there, swings around on his right, kicks that one forward, looking for young Matthews, goes through his hands, gathered by young Matthews again. He's wrapped up in a good tackle by Tom Anderson, and the umpire says we'll ball that up just off the centre square. Foley and Rees in the ruck. Foley with front position, gathers that out of the ruck. Gets his handball away. It's gathered by Leeton, kicks this one forward. Diving for the ball is Seb Howland. He can't take the mark. Gathered by Jack Sussay, and he's wrapped up in a tackle. The umpire will call for a ball up.
Of course, some of those familiar faces from the Lions, Andrew. Tom Sassay's gone down to...
Yes, he's playing with Osborne, Tom.
Yeah, and Ben Walsh is coaching Barellon, of course.
Yes, we've got a few coaches out there. We always seem to have fellas that go on and coach at other clubs. Ben Walsh at Barellon, and Zach Brain that had a stint here with the Lions is coaching Mara. Matt Kanaghi's coaching Cootamundra, and Cam Lindsell's coaching Wollongong Bulldogs reserve grade side.
Well, they must learn something here then.
Yes. As Tom Anderson sends this one forward, sitting under to Sid White. He can't quite hold on to the mark, and it's cleared here by the Leeton Crows through Finnan. Goes wide. They got a loose man there in Rainbird on the wing. He holds the ball up. Lions have been able to control it across half back there. They've made it, made it difficult for Leeton going forward.
He was desperately looking for something, but he nothing presented for him, Andrew.
No, not at all. So Rainbird gets the ball back. He's still on that wing position. He chips one short over the top to young Steele. They've only moved a few metres forward. He looks for his coach in Moline. Marks in front of Lander. He sends this one long and low, and Doyle's out wide in that pocket. And he's taken the young umpires called it out on the full.
So it's gone out in the full. Out there will be a kick in by the Lions in front of the area there, sponsored by Michael McCormack, contesting the seat for Riverina again on May 3rd.
Yes, big period coming up for the politicians. Federal election.
Yeah,
as Jack Sussay takes this mark.
I'm just about over it.
Comes inside and finds Dan Foley. Finds Shannon Butterfield. Lions control. Passes on to Sam Martin. He runs and carries. Hand pass over the top to Tom Anderson. Sends this into the forward line, sitting under Sid White, and comes out and takes a good mark.
Yeah, the delivery is just too good into that area. The Crows are going to have to try and put pressure on the ball, the Lions' ball delivery. And what was it, late push, was it?
Bit of frustration there from Finnan. He pushed him in the back after he'd taken the mark, and umpire
well, that just makes
Gavin Hofford marched him to the goal square. So this will be Sid White's fourth for the quarter.
That just makes it a certainty. The Lions 7-2-44, the Crows 2-2-14. So the Lions have skipped to a 5-goal lead here before the quarter time break. This game might just get away from the Crows early, Andrew, at this rate.
Yes, they've got to keep in the contest. They're just having trouble, as we said, getting past centre forward.
Yeah, they're falling down there at half forward. Their players have got it and they're looking for options, and then they're playing a short game, and the Lions are able to cut it off and turn it over.
The only difference in that back six from last year's grand final is Ben Walsh, but the Lions have so far been able to cover that loss, which is a big loss. But as the ball goes forward and coming out once again is Sid White. Is he on for fire? He's lining up for his fifth in the first quarter.
Well, at this rate, he's got his eye on the RFL goal kicking competition, Andrew. But it's early days.
It's early days. Bit to go in this game as he comes in lining up for his 5th goal in the first quarter. And he's got it.
The Lions 8-2-50, the Crows 2-2-14. Sid White putting on an impressive display down there at full forward.
As the experienced Crows players there in Reeves, Moline and Rainbird in discussion there. They haven't been too bad in the clearances. It's just when the balls rebound off half-back there, they've had, that's where their trouble starts.
Yeah, well, they're just allowing, the Lions have been allowed to have time on entry, Andrew, and they're picking out Sid White to treat.
Foley and Reeves in the ruck. Reeves gets his hand on that one. It's gathered one hand by Matt Hammond. Gets his kick away into the path of Lucas Hattie. Dodges around one. Ball's on the ground there. Hand pass out the back to Rainbird. He's wrapped up in the tackle there. On to Seymour. Kicks one low, looking for McCallum. He spills the mark. Gabbed by Matt Hamlin. Hand pass wide out to Brad Matters. Takes his first possession left-handed. Hand pass to Sam Martin, who comes inside to Hunter Crozier, making first appearance for the year for the Lions. Finds his cousin in Tom Anderson. Sends this long, looking for Sid White, but it's Shannon Butterfield coming off his 50th game last week for the Lions, and he's taken the mark, and he'll have a shot on goal.
Once again, it was one of those kicks. The ball cleared the pack. Players just might be a little bit green, Andrew, with the match practice, because quite a few times it's carried the pack. There is probably a little bit of breeze coming from that area.
Yes, it could be that former factor, a little bit green. I don't know how many trial games the Crows played. The Lions only played the 2 trial games, but these days they do a lot of competitive work at training. But
Shannon Butterfield completes the kick, scores a major right on the siren here at to end the first quarter here at the Den. The Lions 9-2-56, the Crows 2-2-14.
So we have 5 goals to Sid White and 1 each to Jacob Taylor, Shannon Butterfield, Dan Foley and Tom Bernulis.
Yeah, they're proving quite a handful for the Crows players, Andrew. They're going to have to meet there in their huddle and talk about how they can contain that a little bit. It really will run away from them if they can't contain that. So commentators and broadcasters and operators will take this opportunity to have some water, and we'll come back with the second quarter as the players go to their respective huddles.
For all your AG, vet chemicals, fertilizer and bulk fuel, go to Logan and Hitchens.
Ganmain and District Sports Club, a place to celebrate and much, much more.
So players break from their quarter time huddles here at the Den. I'll just take this opportunity. Very big day tomorrow in Baz's life. Baz has a birthday tomorrow, so wish Baz all the best for his birthday tomorrow.
Happy birthday, Baz.
24 again.
24 again, he reckons.
Doesn't look a day older.
Tommy's about 8.
Once again, we're very pleased that Baz has brought all these technical skills to town, and we were able to use it. Yeah. Andrew will take the second quarter away.
Umpire Gavin Hoff to throw the ball up. Foley and Reeves in the ruck. Reeves wins that tap down, but it's into the path of Matt Hamlin. Gets his kick away forward to Jackson Conley. Here he gathers. Hand pass one over the top there to Brad Matters. Sends this long and high, and it's over the back of Sid White's hands and through for a behind.
Yeah, clever little spoil there by the Crows' defence.
Just spotted a score there between the Coolum and Griffith game up at Kindra Park today. Big win to the Hoppers, 163 to Griffith, 9 points.
That's a massive defeat to the Swans.
As this ball comes back to the centre there, picked up by Burhop, kicks wide, looking for Matt Hammer, race for the ball between him and DePoli there, and it's forced over the sidelines.
We'll get a throw-in out there, Andrew, in front of the Logan Hitchens. Good sponsors of the Lions. We've got We've got Barry, he's up on the bank there. He's got a headphone and a radio so he can keep up with it. He reckons his eyesight's failing, so if he can hear the game, he'll be very happy.
He'll have all the goal kickers and possessions through the game. As this is kicked forward by the Lions, gathered by Jackson Conley, gathered by Shannon Butterfield, back to Jesse Lander, kicks this one high, sitting under Sid White. Ball spilled. Contest on the ground there, gathered by Jackson Conley. Quick hand pass out to Tommy Anderson. Does the banana kick and puts it through. He's very excited.
Yeah, he's done the inside out on the right boot. Result, goal of the Lions.
First one of the second quarter.
This time they're kicking obviously to the railway end of the ground, the north end of the ground. And whilst mentioning sponsors, of course, the part of that Logan Hitchens team, Howard Martin. Well, Howard's not here today. He's normally on the gate giving cheek, but he's off at the wedding today, young Georgia Boove, so we wish those guys all the best. Of course, Howard's been very busy in the off-season with managing the build at the back of which we'll talk about later on in the year. He's virtually been project managing that with the boys.
Yes, done a great job along with the lights. Some great additions to the Gambone Sports Ground. As Rees wins this one out of the ruck, gets a hand pass on to DePoli. He's just put off stride as he attempts to kick that one, regathers and puts it down to the throat of Jack Sussay at centre-half back. Quickly plays on, finds Jesse Lander. He kicks this one long, looking for Jeffro Peck at centre-half forward. And a good mark.
Doesn't let him down either.
Good bit of work there by Jake Taylor to put his opponent off. And he kicks one forward to Brad Matters. And he'll line up for his first goal for the Lions. Welcoming all his family over there in Adelaide, watching.
They wouldn't be watching gather rounds, Andrew. They'd be watching this, wouldn't they?
I heard there's a big audience tuned into the game today. Kicks on its way.
No,
offline,
offline, I
just
reckon.
to the right. We'll have to wait a little bit longer.
Get it to him again. Pretty hot over in Adelaide too, Andrew, for the gather round.
Been hot and dry over in South Australia, Guy.
Oh yeah, that's right. You've got Riley over there. He gives it the news.
Yeah, no, that's a hell of a drought. As this one's kickbacking, Bernulis flies high, it goes through his hands. Gathered there by Jesse Lander, back to Bernulis. And umpire deems that he's through it. Rainbird takes the kick. He's got Moline in the centre. He's trying hard for his team. Great to see Lucas Moline, captain coach his home club. As the ball smothered across half-back there by Zach Burhop. Tom Anderson kicks it forward, looking for Sid White. It's gone over the back. He's the first to recover. Gathers in, gets a hand pass on to Jake Taylor, can run this one right in. And he's hit the post, I think. Yep.
Yeah, offline.
The old dribble kick has caught him up. He had time to run it right through to the goal line. The ball comes out. Spoiled by Sam Martin on Rees. Gathered by Jesse Lander to Bernulis. Back to Sam Martin. The ball's on the ground there. Good tackle by Bernulis. Gathered by DePoli. And he's forced over the sideline there by Lander for the Lions. And it'll be a throw in right in front of the club rooms.
He's run out of real estate in the finish. Free kick, is it?
Free kick for something. I don't know what that was for, but Sam Martin will take the kick. Finds Bernulis in front of the Leeton box. Swings around on his right. It's gone off the side of his boot. Body work there by Matt Hamlin. He can't take the mark. Gathered by DePoli. He's had a few possessions this quarter. Swings out wide here from Leeton. Finds Steele. He can chip this one onto Rainwood, but it's cut off by Jesse Lander. Just a skill area there from the young Steele. Just a spoil there by Bernulis on Rainbird, who taking offence to it. There's a tussle occurring now. And the umpires are coming in to look at this one. Still a wrestle on. Bit of push and shove there.
We might see a few cards come out after this, Andrew.
Yeah, well,
get a bit of a spell.
Boys will watch out as Hodge and Butterfield are in a big tussle on the back line. Umpires trying to control. Well, it was a big swing there by Ryan on Coach Sam Martin. I think it grazed his forehead as Butterfield loses his jumper, and Andrew Tuff has blown the whistle. Time on. As umpire Andrew Tuff has brought out the yellow card. Just seeing who they've pointing this at. Sending Benulis off and Rainbird.
Yeah, well, they were the two, the original offenders, so I guess that's fair. So we've lost a few minutes there.
So umpire Gavin Offen to throw this one up and try and get some system back in this game, some normality, some football. Ball's run hard, tapped down by Peck, handball by Hamlin, and he's deemed to be caught for the ball there. Free kick to Lucas Maloney. He'll look to send this back in. Long for Leeton. Sitting under this is Josh Walsh, and he spoils. Gathered by Sam Hamlin. Gets one. No, it's out of bounds. A throw in right in front of the main box.
Seb Hamlin remonstrating with the suggesting to the boundary umpire the ball wasn't out. Never mind, the whistle's gone.
Thrown in Reeves and Peck under this one guy, and gathered by DePoli. Kicks one long and low, but it's forced out by Norman. Be a throw in front of the broadcasting box.
Brought the play alive a little bit, that melee, Andrew.
I beg your pardon, Guy.
It's brought the play alive a little bit, that melee.
Yes, it's brought Leeton to life. Brought their supporters to life, and good tackling there by Anderson.
They need to get it on the board.
Both senior players wanting to support their younger players in their sides. As Reeve gets front position, it's over the back, gathered by Lucas Hattie.
Yeah, high.
He's tackled high, yep. It's a hand pass to Tom Anderson. On his left, sends this one long, but it's out on the full, I think. In front of Dan Foley.
Crows will take a kick out there in front of the regional hydraulics. Jason Hamlin with that business in Wagga, and Ag and Vet Services, of course, here at Ganmain and also at Grongrong.
Ryan comes in field and finds Steele. Sends this one long and low, but he finds Rees in front of Peck. He's been good for Leeton. They'd be happy with their recruit from Tasmania. Sends this one long. Numbers here for the Lions. Josh Walsh under it. Gets a hand pass out the back to Sam Martin. He goes inside. He got numbers there. Matt Hattie. He can switch this one wide. Run from Burhop over half back. Taps this one on to Jack Sussay. He can take a bounce. One.
Clever
Run
tap.
this right in. Finds Dan Foley a centre forward. Takes the mark.
It was a deft little tap there by Burhop onto Sassay, Andrew.
He's pushed forward, but the kick's just missed his outreached arms, and the umpire deemed that he's been caught with the ball, and it'll go to Jake Taylor against the Leeton player there on the ground.
So Jake Taylor, he'll have to unload from about 50, but the whistle's gone. There's another one of those tariffs. There's a free 50-metre penalty, which will put him in front of goal.
Umpires attempting to take control of this game.
Obviously, probably a little bit of verbal there from the Leeton players. Do you think, Andrew?
Yes. Well, there's a bit of verbal from the crowd there. A couple of comments weren't great. But Jake Taylor kicks his second goal.
Yeah, the umpire's just saying, well, we're going to take control of this game. Players need to devote their energy to the football and worry about the little melees and the wrestles. That really takes it out of you. So the Lions 11-5-71, the Crows 2-2-14. They haven't added to that first quarter score yet. There's 11 minutes gone in the second, but a couple of those minutes were taken up in the melee.
as conditions start to cool here. That
Yeah, it's very welcoming, and you can just see the lights warming up in anticipation for this evening.
Reeves taps that one out the back to Moline. And DePoli kicks this one forward. He's been very good for the Crows this quarter, but it's marked by Matt Foley across halfback for the Lions. Just been ineffective going forward, the Leighton Whitten Crows, but probably dominated those centre clearances. As they come back inside to Sam Martin across centre halfback, he chips one forward, finds Peck there across halfback for the Lions. Comes back to Sam Martin. Leighton manning up well, comes inside. Good kick and finds Jack Sussay in the middle of the ground. He can go wide back to Peck, but he goes wider again to Jarvis Pritchard. Just spills the mark there, regathers. He's got time on his hands. Chips one forward, looking for Matt Hamlin. It's over the top. He regathers, sends this long, looking for Sid White. Goes to his hands. Good hand pass over the top to Jake Taylor, and he gets his second in a matter of a minute. He's third, sorry, in a matter of a minute.
He dribbled that one right, Andrew.
He made sure of that one, Guy.
Yep. Lions 12-5-77, Crows 2-2-14. 12 and a half minutes gone. Now, Andrew, it's hard to imagine as we just see the lights warm up there. It's hard to imagine that all those years ago, in the days of the Maroons, and then we went to the Lions, the Gammane Grongrong Madong, that footballers just trained in front of one single solitary light that was fitted on the tower here above the commentary position. So that's unbelievable what the players get to train and play in these days, isn't it?
That's right, yeah, yep. Now, there's been a big push to upgrade lighting system at grounds, and which a lot of clubs have done. As Moline kicks that out of the centre, the mark spilled by Josh Walsh. Hand pass missed the target there from Sam Martin. Big tackle by Josh Walsh, and the ball's hand passed over the line. And it'll be a throw in.
We'll get a throw in out there. We've got that area of the ground there, sponsored by Quality Wool and Landmark.
Young Broston McCree off to the Giants. Under 16s on Monday, throws that in with Reeves front position. Tom Anderson forces his way through there. Kick forward there, spoiled by Steele for the Crows. Back to Tom Anderson. Can go wide, looking for Matt Foley, but Jackson Conley, he's been heavily involved there so far today. He's got it on that far wing. Can send this long, looking for...
I think free kick down the field, I think, Andrew.
Not sure what that one was for, but anyway, umpire Hoffert signalling downfield. This one comes in, and it's a good mark to Dan Foley. No, it's deemed a push against Dan Foley. It'll go to...
hands in the back, I think.
To Leighton. They look to clear this wide.
They're pretty hot on that hands in the back.
Diving mark there from the Crows. Has kicked long. Doyle on his own on the wing there. But once again, they're held up across the wing there. No quick ball play. Moline lurking there at the back of this one. He gets a hair pass over the top there. Goes to chip inside. It doesn't go 15 metres. He regathers again. Sends this long and high. Sitting under this is Hodge and Sussay. Balls bounces on the ground. Picked up by Sam Martin. Gets a hand pass to Matters. To Matt Hamlin. To Jack Sussay. Lions run this out of the fence. Onto the man of the moment, Jake Taylor. He runs down the wing. Takes one bounce. Sends this long. Looking for his work colleague, Hunter Crozier. But it's going to roll out of bounds. There'll be discussions about that at Jason Lynn's Electrical on Monday, Guy.
Oh, yeah, they'll talk that out as to who was right and who was wrong. We'll get a throw in there in front of the Gammane Pharmacy. We've got tin down there in the main street. Great, I say it every year, it's great to have a chemist in a little country town like this. Terrific service.
Reeves wins that tap. On to Jackson Colley. Kicks one around the corner looking for Sid White. Play on, says the umpire. No mark to Finnan for Leighton. Tries to clear out of defence there. Gathered by Seymour. On to Moline. On to DePoli. Kicks this one long. He finds Hodge. A long way from home. But he plays on. Open goal square. And it's just hits the post.
Still in play, I think.
Still in play.
I think he's going to give it.
Yep. Not sure will we credit that one to Jade Hodge or to the young fella that just towed it through.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Young Rees, I think it is.
I think he had to help it in the finish, Andrew.
Yeah, you would have thought that would have hit the post, but it just kicked backwards. The shape of the football back into the field of play, and goal to Leeton.
The Lions 12-5-77. The Crows 3-2-20. 16 minutes gone here in the second quarter at the Den.
Rees over the top of Peck, forces it forward. Gathered there by Pritchard, but it's out the back to Moline. He ducks under one, goes forward, looking for McCallum, and it's picked up by Jack Sussay. He's met heavily, and umpire Andrew Tuff downfield. It'll be a free kick to Jarvis Pritchard on that far half-back flank.
Just a little bit of ill discipline there from the Crows. Andrews costing them.
He's just a bit late. Lions switch to Josh Walsh. Chips one over the top to Lucas Hattie. He's got a paddock in front of him. He can go long to Dan Foley in the paddock, but he finds a good spoil there by Leeton.
Be a throw in down there in that the Lions attacking pocket, left side, northern end of the ground. Choices Flooring are sponsoring there. So if you're looking for any floor coverings, they're the company to go to.
Ball thrown in. Foley and Reeves in the ruck. Ball's out the back there to Jake Taylor. Moline picks it up, but he's wrapped up in the tackle. That gets the hand pass back to Reeves, but
Jake Taylor just wasn't quite quick enough, Andrew, to step away. He thought he had time, but Crows brought him down. They're watching him pretty closely now, of course.
Reeves starting to get his hands on in the ruck there. Gets one out, but it's gathered by Lucas Hattie. On to Jackson Conley. Dodges around one. Sends this in long, looking for Sid White. Sitting under this one. Can't hold it down there in the shadows. As Leeton run this out wide and find Rogers on that far side.
Can the Crows put two back to back?
Got Seymour over the back here. He marks, plays on quickly, but it's all Lions. Joe Foley marks across half back. He finds Jarvis Pritchard on that far wing. Hand passes one over the top to Jake Taylor. He quickly plays on, finds Jenna Butterfield there at centre forward on the far side. He chips one over the top and finds Hunter Crozier. Left foot will suit him here, and he's happy to go back and have a shot.
He's got the hand up, he's got the visor up, he's checking the distance. Umpire straightens him up on the mark. So the rest is up to Hunter. He'll come in on that left foot. He's got a kick from every bit of 40. Ball falls short. Scrimmage in the goal square. Eventually tapped through for a one behind to the Lions.
Leeton's been able to stifle the Lions in this second quarter as they bring this out and find Moline across centre forward.
Free kick down the field, I think, to the Crows. I'm not sure what.
It was encroaching on the 10-metre area.
Oh, yep. Pretty consistent display of umpiring here, Andrew, I reckon.
Yeah, Lamine chips one short. Umpire Hoffert almost could have took that mark himself, but ball's on the ground as the Lions go to clear to Jake Taylor. Dodges around one. He's wrapped up in a tackle. But on to Jackson Conley. These two are working well together. Over the top to Jarvis Pritchard. Lions getting a little bit messy here. On to Hunter Crozier. And it's cleared by Leeton, but the ball's kicked down the throat of Josh Walsh. He looks to switch. Looking for Jeffro Peck. He's under pressure here by his Doyle. Gets a hand pass away. It's over the top of Lucas Hattie, gathered by Leeton. They look to send this forward. Dodges around one. Kicks long, looking for Hodge and Jack Sussay, but he's got that front position and too strong. Marks it. He'll go back and have a shot.
Bit of a battle of the Incredible Hulks there, Andrew.
Yeah, he's very strong in front, Jade Hodge.
Should be able to slot this one through for the Crows. Just put a little bit respectability on the board before half-time, on the cusp of half-time. Sasse trying to put him off. It's a nice looking drop punt.
Yeah, it kicks on its way and it's through.
Yep.
They've been very competitive this quarter, Leeton.
Yeah, they've stemmed the flow a little bit and they've got themselves a couple of goals. The Lions 12-6, 78. The Crows 4-2, 26. 21 and a half minutes gone here in the second term at the Den. I keep talking about the lights, but it's quite a novelty for those of us here that have, haven't seen the lights in action before.
As Reeves come out of the ruck and gone deep, and Peck wins that tap down, looking for Matt Hamlin. He tries to pick that one up, gets a hand pass away. Ball's in dispute there, gathered by Leeton, on to Moline, dodges around one, gets a little chip forward. Ball bounces high, punched forward by Jack Sasse, gathered by Tom Hanson. Looks to swing wide. It's a good pass, spoiled there by Leeton, regathered there by Jackson Conley. Kicks this one high. A slip there by Butterfield. The ball's on the ground there, gathered by Leeton. He's wrapped up in the tackle. Umpire will ball it up.
Jackson Conley there, just clever. Andrew bodied his Crows opponent under the ball. No infringement, just bodied him under it. Umpire's picked out a free kick to the
Shepherd
Lions.
in the ruck.
Dan Foley to take the kick. In that sweet spot where Dan likes it. Once again.
And a bit of chatter.
The Crows are going to have to learn from that, Andrew. They're under severe pressure as it is without that.
Yes,
So
what was a disputable goal will be now a certain goal.
yeah, I can almost put it in before he kicks it.
So goal to Dan Foley.
Yeah,
Quick reply from the Lions.
undisciplined. The Crows are going to have to talk about that at the coach. They're going to have to talk about that at half-time, get on top of that.
That's his second goal.
The Lions 13-6, 84. The Crows 4-2, 26. 23 and a half minutes gone now.
As Bernulis and Rainbird come back onto the ground after their little scuffle 15 minutes ago.
So we'll see how hostilities go now. Bernulis will be fresh to run out the quarter.
Reeves comes back in the ruck, only had a short spell. He wins the tap. He's dominated them taps today. Rainbird gathers, picked up by Bernulis. Runs out of the centre there, sends this one forward. It's an errant kick. Gathered by Leeton there. Hand pass to Steele. Hand passes one back. Missed kick wide there, looking for McCallum. He can't gather. Looks for Doyle. It goes through his hands, but chop of the arms there. Free kick to Doyle.
So the Crows are going to take it into their forward line late in the quarter here. They'd love to score another one.
Big ruckman's push forward. He's sitting under this one. Bernulis has got the jump, but Reeves got the mark.
Oh, good mark too.
Very good debut for the Crows. Sends this high, looking for Hodge, but too strong on young Joe Foley there, and he's marked.
Yeah, he's outbodied Joe Foley on that occasion.
You can't get in an arm wrestle with him.
He's going to do one of these kicks we love, Andrew.
And,
well, I don't know.
No, it hasn't worked, I don't think.
Oh dear.
Why didn't you go back and do the drop punt?
He's been watching too much AFL on the TV.
Jack Sasse brings it into Sam Martin, goes wide to Matt Foley. As the shadows start to come across the ground, he goes wide, looking for Matt Hamlin. It's been gathered by the Lions there. He's wrapped up in the tackle. I can't see a burr hop, I think it was. Ball comes back to Leeton. Steele's got this on the wing. Looks to come inside. He can switch. He's got a man clear here on the far side. Fletcher sends this one looking for Hodge, and he's taken another mark. Starting to be a problem for the Lions defence.
Yeah, he's a handful. He's going to kick from about 40. Pretty easy shot in the overall scheme of things. Can't be far from the half-time siren, although we lost a little bit of time with the melee. He'll come in with the drop punt. Right foot. No, he sprayed that one off to the right. So costly here for the Crows late in the quarter, Andrew.
Yeah, Jay to be disappointed with that.
Lions 13-6, 84. Crows 4-4, 28. 26 and a half minutes gone. Ball brought in by Sam Martin.
Into Jack Sussay, hand pass on to Joe Foley. Kicks this one long, wide, finds Matt Hamlin on the wing. The Lions transition well. Finds Cooper Connolly over the back. Looks to come inside. He's found Shannon Butterfield in front of the scoreboard. And he's got Benulis, who's pushed down from defence. He can kick this one on the run, but he's looking for Burhop. Zach Burhop has ran all the way from defence down into that forward pocket.
Yeah, good team play there by Tom Benulis. He could have blazed away, but he spotted Zach Burhop. He put a gap on his opponent. Tommy B put it out in front of him. Zach was good enough to take the mark. Is he good enough to convert? The siren's gone for half time. Comes in, right foot, drop punt. Goal umpire taps his left shoulder, offline, one behind.
Well, you might say a pretty even quarter, Guy. Were we 9 goals at the start of that first quarter?
Yep.
And we've added another 4, and
Yep.
Leeton have added 2.
Yeah, well,
We didn't dominate, but we're in front on the scoreboard for the
not
quarter.
not a bad quality quarter of football, Andrew, even though the scoreline shows the Lions 13-7, 85, the Crows 4-4, 28. But some pretty good patches of play there from both sides. But yeah, Crows just falling down, going into that half, going across half forward. But they cleaned it up late in the quarter with some marks, and then they've got to tidy up that giving away those 50s, those tariffs as I call them, after Trump's fortnight of wrecking around the country. Yeah, a few things to get on top of there. So we've seen, pretty good half of football, Andrew.
Yes, it's some good skills shown, and Leeton will be, pleased with that second quarter, and they'll be looking to go in here at half time and see if they can come out in that third and put a little bit more pressure on the Lions and possibly win the quarter.
So camera operators, technicians and commentators will have a well-deserved drink and a bit of a rest, and then we'll come back and looking forward to the lights taking effect for the second half of the game here at the Den.
Amazing service and carefully sourced homewares and furniture. Fisher and Farmer.
Coolaman Butchery, a great place to meet up. Yummy, yum, yum.
So we're back here at the Gamone Sports Ground for the start of the third quarter. Players, umpires, officials had a much-needed break at half-time. Got their breath back, taken on some fluids and perhaps an orange or two. Beautiful evening here now at the Den, Andrew.
Yeah, it's quite pleasant, Guy, now that sun has started to go down and different atmosphere. We're back to the start of the third quarter. Lions hold a bit better than a 9-goal advantage. As Reeves wins the tap again, down to Moline. We've called out a few times today. Kick smothered there by the Lions and gathered by Dan Foley. The umpire will call for a ball up.
Yeah, that call, Andrew, has been on repeat.
Yeah, it's been very, very good. Reeves in the ruck. Gets front position here. Foley reads it the best. On to Jesse Lander. Sends this one forward, and coming out is Tom Benulis. He takes this mark on the 50. He'll go back and have a shot.
Yeah, well, he's fresh from that send-off in the second quarter. He'll have to kick from just outside the 50, around about 45-degree angle. Normally a pretty prodigious kicker. The football is Tom Benulis. Comes in on that right foot. He's given it everything, but it's out of bounds on the full for mine.
Yeah, you're right. Just a little bit beyond his distance.
Yeah, sometimes happens when you try to go to over-kick it. I think Tom Benulis, Andrew, he'd be a handy man if you want to challenge the rates, evaluations on your rates. He works in that top department down in Sydney, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's right. Oh, he's a very astute man with the figures. As Leeton look to bring this out of the fence, they're going long, looking for Doyle there, almost takes a one-hander. Sam Martin comes through, gathers it in, looks for Madulis. It's cut off there by Leeton, onto Moline. Gets one over the top, they send this one forward, under it is Hodge. He's got back position, but Joe Foley gets a hand in it, and Jack Sussay's happy to rush that one through. He was under pressure. Umpire says play on, he brings it in, finds Joe Foley. Leeton appealing for a free kick. Ball comes out to Sam Martin. Comes back inside, finds Joe Foley. Got his brother Dan in the middle of the field. Coming out of fence is Bernulis. He sends a rattler one forward. It goes through the hands of Finnan. Under this is Sid White. Ball's bounced on the ground. Gathered by Steele. Kicks one forward and finds his coach Moline in the ground. He can go back inside. Run here from Leeton as Steele sends this forward, and on a good strong lead is Hodge. He's taken a mark.
Early days yet, but a little bit better opening for Andrew, for the Crows here in the third quarter. A little bit linking play, a little bit, making their possessions count, finding targets.
Well, they've certainly worked things over since that first quarter, where it was all the Lions, and
He'll let go here just inside the 50. He kicks right on the point of the 50 actually. And a good goal.
It's gone 60 metres through the goal. So
yeah, impressive goal.
First goal of the third quarter goes to Jade Hodge.
So a good start for the Crows. Trailing on the scoreboard, the Lions 13-7-85, the Crows 5-5-35, bit over 3 minutes gone.
Coach Sam Martin wasn't overly happy at half-time there. The Lions had just gone away from what they were doing in that first quarter and need to get back on track. Foley and Reeves in the ruck. Both get their hands on it. It's on the ground there, and Moline's wrapped up in a tackle by his Lions opponents. Foley, Reeves grabs this one out of the ruck, but he's tackled as he attempts to kick the ball, and good tackle by Matt Foley. Play on. Benulis marks again in the similar position to his previous one. He's looking inside.
He's looking for options.
Found
Dan
one. Foley's pushed down in the ruck. He's taken a mark 30 or 25 metres out from goal on a
bit of a
45-degree angle.
Bit of a lapse there, Andrew, from the Crows. Benulis telegraphed the fact that he was looking for options, and Dan Foley was able to jump into the space. Dan Foley, we're right behind him. He'll kick on that right foot. He'll kick from 30. Has that little bit of a shuffle in. It's right over the goal umpire's head for a goal.
Lions have the reply.
Lions 14-7-91. Crows 5-5-35. 5 minutes gone now in the third.
Dan Foley's third goal for the game.
Beautiful evening for football. Pretty good initiative, Andrew, early in the season to be able to have this twilight game. Of course, you wouldn't entertain it in the wintertime in the Riverina. We're normally huddling around in the cold and can't wait for the end of the game sometimes, but it's a little good initiative for this round of football in the Riverina.
Yes, we've got Turvey Park and Wagga Tigers playing at the moment at Mar Oval. Gully were 50-point winners against Mangapla today, so they're two so far. As good tackle there by Matt Foley on Rainboard. The umpire calls for a ball up.
Yeah, they're going to be a side to be reckoned with again this year, Andrew. The Demons there at Collingully.
Yes, even though they lost some star players, they were able to cover their losses, and yeah, they'll be hard to beat as the Crows win this one out of out of the middle, but it's kicked forward by Moline and marked by Josh Walsh. His kicks spoiled there by Leeton, but gathered by Matt Hamlin. Kicks this one forward to the path of Jeffro Peck, coming through his steel. Good hands to Rainbird. On to Rees, goes wide. Finds Fletcher. He's got numbers behind him, but elects to go forward. Kicks long, looking for...
Crows badly outnumbered there in that situation there. 3-1 there.
I think it was Crompton, but he was outmarked by Josh Walsh. I think Josh Walsh had half a dozen intercept marks last week. Took over the mantle from his brother Ben.
Perhaps he was playing in his shadow and he's going to step up, Andrew.
Yep, captain of the side, him and Dan Foley, as this ball comes out of the defence of the Lions into the hands of Burhop, sends this forward. Ball bounces on the ground, out to Meadows Benulis. He swings around on his right. He's got Matt Hamlin pushing forward into this pocket. He's under pressure from DePoli. He slips, tackled by Hamlin, and the ball's out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in. Rourke, that was for Leeton.
So we'll have a throw-in out there. Good sponsors there. Coolman Butcher. The barbecue's in action here this evening.
Hodge and Peck in the ruck. Reeves and Peck in the ruck. And the ball's pushed forward there by the Lions. It's kicked off the ground by Leeton. Steele's tackled there, gathered by Jake Taylor. He gets a hair pass away. Umpire calls play on. Sam Martin flies for that one.
Sam
Unrealistic leap, I think they call it, Guy.
Yeah, one hand in the back.
As Rees takes this one, he comes inside, finds Norman. He can go wide the far side there, but he's popped this one up high. It's spoiled by Lander there, but then to be interfered with the marking contest. It'll be a free kick to Leeton.
Yeah, Leeton needed that one. It was 2-1. He's pulled off the free kick.
Steele gained a few possessions, goes around the back, gets that one, but his kicks missed the target. Gathered by Butterfield onto Lander. Kicks this long, Benulis and Finnan. Finnan uses the body well. Matt Hamlin crumbs. And it's cleared by the Crows up to the middle of the ground, but good work by Butterfield there. Takes a strong mark on his bigger opponent. Looks to play on. He gives it to Seb Hamlin. He can swing on that trusty left foot. He's met heavily as he's gone for it. Umpire says play on. It's gone wide. Gathered almost by Sid White as it travels over the sideline, and it'll be a throw-in.
Have a throw-in out there in front of the Glenheath Park stud. There they've got the Kemba family out there at Mangain, Cockeye Batu. Years of breeding in those super border sheep out there, Andrew. No sheep feeder.
For a free kick. I think it'll be against Seb Hamlin there. He was talking to umpire Andrew Tuff about that non-free kick he thought he should have got, and chatted a little bit too long.
Umpire's not taking anything today, Andrew. We've seen that right from the start. They're in charge.
So Steele has possession. Goes to go wide. It's marked by Reeves. Contested mark on that far side. Looks to go long. Numbers here for the Lions. High is Moline. Dives on this one. He's wrapped up in a tackle. Cleared here by the Lions through Dan Foley. Chips short. Finds Jarvis Pritchard. No, the umpire's calling it back, is he? No. Jarvis Pritchard's mark. Looks to come inside. Finds Seb Hamlin. Dodges around one onto his trusty left. Goes wide. He's got Jake Taylor who marks. Play on quickly here. Butterfield running off. Looking forward for Benulis, but Matt Hamlin, front position, takes the mark. Quickly plays on into the hands of Leeton. Ball spills free. Kick smothered on White, but he's caught high.
Cop one high, so he'll get a free kick right in front. A little bit unfortunate there for the Crows to give that free kick away. Looked like they were going to get away with it. there, Andrew, but
Blood rule.
so Tom Anderson will step in to take the kick. Sid White will come to the training bench. Be seen to. Must have copped one across the nose, I guess.
Yeah, cop one on the nose.
So no argument about the free kick. Hunter Crozier runs off the bench to take his place. Tommy Anderson spinning the ball in his hands as he waits for umpire to signal time on. Comes in, should slot this through for an easy goal, which he does.
No trouble at all. Goal to Tom Anderson. That's his second.
Lions 15-7-97. They're only 3 off the ton. Crows 5-5-35. 12 minutes gone here in the third. Once again, plenty of water being run out to the players. I was just going to, when I was talking about the Glenheath stud, I was just talking about the sheep feed situation, non-existent virtually, Andrew.
Yes, a lot of hand feeding going on at the moment, Guy. A lot of sheep getting sold. Hopefully it's not long term.
Yeah,
Back to the centre of the ground. Foley and Reeves in the ruck. Foley taps one over the back, but it's gathered by DePoli. It's been good for the Crows. Kicks this wide. Race for the ball here by Sam Martin. He almost keeps it in play, but it'll be a throw in there.
We've got the Beaumont Tiles there, sponsors, and Ag and Vet Services in that area also. We appreciate their sponsorship. Takes a lot to run a footy club.
Ball thrown in, Reeves with front position. He takes it out of the ruck. Tackled by Foley. Gets his kick away. Coming out to meet it is Seb Hamlin. Toes it forward there. Gathered by the Crows. He chips one short and finds Norman. He's about 40 metres out. And he's confident he's going to have a shot.
Yeah, he's not indicated. He's turned his back on the play, but he didn't have anything presenting anyway, so it'll be a set shot. He'll have to kick from 45, virtually directly in front. Flags on the scoreboard, not even moving. Perfect opportunity to score a long-range shot on goal,
And
which he does do.
Through.
Even clears the goal umpire, clears the fence. Good kick, well executed. Lions.
He's first for the day.
Lions 15-7-97. The Crows 6-5-41. 14 gone here at the Den.
As the full moon comes up over the tree line.
Yeah, it's quite spectacular.
Back to the tussle in the centre. Foley and Reeves.
You can just see the effect of the lights now. The players casting a little shadow.
Reeves taps that forward into the path of Rainbird. He's wrapped up the tackle, breaks one, gets it back to Reeves at the centre of the ground. He can't take it in, charging through his Butterfield. He cleans up onto Anderson, swings around on his right, kicks this one long and low, but it's into the hands of Ryan. He can swing wide. He's got Steele, can come inside for DePoli. Chip one to Rainbird. Finesse here from the Crows.
Yeah, this is where they fall into trouble because they've got to play that short game. They've got nothing on down the line.
And miss kick and
yeah,
Burhop cleans up.
Turned over.
Can find Bernulis at centre forward. He chips wide to Brad Matters and he's marked 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
This will be his first, Andrew, won't it? He missed that early one.
He missed that earlier one.
He'd love to grab this one. He'll have to kick from about 45. Right foot, drop punt. No, he sprayed it wide.
Just to the right.
Lions 15-8, 98. Crows 6-5, 41. 15 and a half minutes gone. Third term. Leighton fullback had to retrieve the ball. lacking a few kids here tonight, Andrew.
Yes, looking for a kick as the Crows bring this in, and looking for Ryan. He marks it centre half back there for the Crows. He looks to bring this in front of the club side, and it's a good mark there by number 7. I think it's young Reeves in front of Josh Walsh. He's had a few possessions today. He looks for Doyle, and he just spills one over the sidelines.
Just used up too much real estate. He really should have taken that mark. He dropped what he should have taken there.
Ball's thrown in high. Reeves with front position. He punches it forward. Gathered by Reeves. And it's a hold on Seb Hamlin. He'll take the kick across half back there with against Doyle. Chips this one short. Inside to Tom Anstey. Spills the mark. Cops one high from Doyle.
Wasn't a lot in it, but it was just momentary late.
Well, it was a head rattler.
That's it.
And kick from Josh Walsh to Dan Foley, who takes a good mark, sends this long, looking for Peck. Over the back is Benulis. He's wrapped up in a tackle and he's thrown over the line, and it'll be a throw in.
We'll get a throw in there in front of the Jupiter Motors. They got that business there in Dobney Avenue, Wagga. Plenty of cars there to pick from. Get an electric one if you want. When are you getting an electric one, Baz?
Never.
Never, he said.
Yes.
As the Crows win this one out of the ruck. This one's gone high. In front is Dan Foley. Over the shoulders the call against Doyle. Dan Foley to take the kick. Goes inside to Seb Hamlin. Can kick this long and low. Touched by Moline. Gathered by Rainbird. He's wrapped up in a tackle. Ball spills 3. Gathered by Moline. Sends this one long. Reeves is pushed forward. Spoiled by Josh Walsh. Reeves tries to Gathers. It eludes him. Picked up by Dan Foley. Can come wide to Butterfield. Shannon sends this long and low, looking for Peck. It's a good pass. It gives a little one to Butters on the run. On the boundary line. Looks to centre the ball and finds young Lucas Hattie. Good play, Brad Matters.
Yes, centred the ball nicely. He knew it was risky to have a shot from there. Spotted up Lucas Hattie all on his own. Made good position there. He'll be kicking from around about 30. Distance won't be a problem. No breeze. Perfect conditions. Lights taking effect. Comes in, right foot, drop punt. Yes, players like it.
Just
Lucas
stuck
like
it
it.
in, Lucas Hattie.
Lions 16-8, 104. Crows 6-5, 41. 19 minutes gone now, third term. Jesse Lander comes to the bench for a break. Jackson Connolly will take his spot. Rotation, 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 Andrew.
Yes. The Lions giving everyone a run there. So it was pretty hot earlier. It's cooled right off now. Foley in the ruck. And the ball is wrapped up. There'll be another ball up
Yeah, held to him in the finish, it was deemed.
against McCallum. Foley grabs this out of the ruck. Tries to get a hair pass away. Gathered by DePoli. Kicks this one forward to Hodge. He's got front position. Good spoil by Joe Foley on that occasion. Almost kicked clear by Reeves. It's gone wide by McCallum, and he finds Norman again. And he'll line up for his second for the quarter. Distance was no trouble for his first.
Good tussle there with Joe Foley and his opponent, even though Joe's given away a bit of weight, but it's good tussle, Andrew.
Well, it's a good learning curve for Joe. He hasn't played much in defence, and to come up against an experienced player like Jade Hodge, it's good for his development. As Norman just kicks this to the right.
Yeah, just offline a little bit. Lions 16-8, 104, Crows 6-6, 42. 21 minutes gone now in the third.
Sam Martin to bring this one in. Chip short finds Burhop. He can go long looking for Seb Hamlin, but it's a good mark to Hunter Crozier down low. Gets a hand pass on to Matt Hamlin. On to Matt Foley. Swings around on his left, looking for Benulis. It's gone over the pack's head and it's out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in.
So we've got good sponsors over there. The ball will be thrown in. We've got the Gamay News Agency and Price's Furniture's Delivery. So if you need any furniture brought out from Wagga, they're the guys to talk to. Deliver it right into your lounge room.
Benulis in the ruck with McCallum. He takes it out of the ruck. Hair pass to Shannon Butterfield. Kicks this one high. Under it is Dan Foley. Bounces over his head to Finnan. He tries to dodge around Hunter Crozier. Crow's trying to clear here through DePoli. Gets one over the top. It's a race for the ball here between Jarvis Pritchard. Puts a good shepherd on. Gathered by Brad Matters. Comes inside on his left and finds Peck.
He's got players loose, lines loose, streaming through the centre.
Run from defence. It's almost into the hands of Benulis, but spoiled there by Leeton. And the ball's gathered by Benulis, and Tom Anderson will get... Well, the free kick will go to Leeton. Young Seymour will take the free kick in the back.
Umpire having a talk to someone out there.
Yes, umpire Gavin Hofford. Ball's gone long, marked by Peck. Good strong mark out on the far wing. Comes inside. Kick is spoiled. Gathered by Crows. Bump there from Hamlin and got awarded a free kick for a bump. The ball's kicked high. Sitting under this, Benulis gets his hands on it, takes a strong mark.
Yeah, didn't take his eyes off it at all. Umpire talking to the Crows player here.
Talking to young Ryan. And he's getting put in the book here, I'd say, for dissent or language.
Yep, that's not a good look. So the Crows in enough trouble without that.
And it'll be 50 metre penalty.
We've had quite a few of those, Andrew. I've lost count of them. So put this in the book. I'll even go as far as to flick it up now on the electronic scoreboard. So the Crows can ill afford that in their game. The Lions 17-8, 110. Crows 6-6, 42. 24 minutes gone now.
Second goal for Tom Benulis.
I think that's about the third goal with a 50-metre penalty. Third or fourth, Andrew, isn't it?
Yes.
That I can remember.
You can't win football games when you're giving away goals like that.
No. So the Crows with a bit of homework when they... over the Easter break.
So that's the Lions' fifth goal for the quarter as Reeves back into the ruck and wins the tap down into the path of Tom Anderson though. Clears this one out of the centre high, sitting under Benulis, and good body work there. Protects the front position. And he can chip this one over the top looking for Matt Hamlin. Almost marks, gathered by Jackson Conley there, and he slots it through.
And if you wondered what was happening there a minute ago, Baz hasn't lost the plot. He was giving you a shot of the beautiful moon away in the east. Might go back to it, Baz. I've given them a heads up now. Get a look at that. Get a look at that moon. Lights really taking effect now, Andrew.
Yes.
I think I can see some of the players with my old eyesight better than a bright sunny day, actually. I'm looking forward to the last quarter here as we wait for the ball to come back to the centre.
So Jackson Connolly's first goal for the game.
Lions 18-8, 116. Big score now. Crows 6-6, 42. I'd never suggest you'd lose the plot anyway, Baz, but that was a good thought to take a image of that moon.
Yeah, full as.
Peck taps that one forward, gathered by Moline. He's probably had a little bit of a quiet accord, but then again he gathers it again, and he's going to send this forward for the Crows. And under this is Hodge. Getting back to support is Josh Walsh, but it's a good mark to Joe Foley. That'll give him a bit of confidence. Comes up into the centre of the ground and kicks to Jack Sussay. He goes wide, looking for Peck. Takes a good mark. He's got Lucas Hattie running on. Sends this long, looking for Bernulis, and gets a little shove from the front, which was an advantage because it fell into his arms then.
Yeah, they pushed him. They pushed him to his
advantage.
Advantage, yes. And I was also going to mention Jethro Peck's been strong overhead this afternoon, Andrew.
Yeah, he's had a good quarter, Jethro Peck.
Come into the play. Bernulis will unload from about 40, right over there and deep in the pocket.
Kick's going to go across the face of goal.
Across the face, yep.
Yep. Tommy Bernulis is probably his 4th or 5th point for the game.
Crows bring it in, right down the centre.
Looking for Norman, but spoiled by Seb Hamlin. Gathered by Jack Sussay. He dodges around one, come inside, but well read by young Seymour. Takes the mark across half-back for the Crows. Can go wide, looking for Coach Malone. It's gone over his head. Gathered by Leeton there. They've got a man free in front of the scoreboard. As to Leeton's unfortunate, the siren's gone.
Sirens beat them on this occasion.
Yep.
They were forced to go wide once again. Yeah, with the exception of a few forays, Andrew, they've broken down in that position. They've had to go the short pass into their forward line. It's broken down on a number of occasions. So I guess they haven't got the cattle. The Lions are just too good across the centre and the half-back line. I guess that's what it amounts to. And so they're going to have to work on that, the Crows, their forward entries. And they'll work on that, and they've also got to work on that discipline job with those 50s, Andrew.
Yeah, so 6 goals to the Lions and 2, I think it was, for the Crows for that quarter. So the Lions victorious in that quarter.
So Baz has been able to stall the camera now there, and he's got that moon in the background there as the players come to the huddle at 3/4 time. So the players will have a break, and the commentary camera operator people will have another drink of water. Water's been the number one job today, to take plenty on. We'll be back with the last quarter.
Ganmain Bakery and the famous Ganmain pies. If you can bake it, we make it.
Great pub accommodation and icy cold beers. Ganmain Hotel for good quality pub grub.
Ganmain News Agency, open 7 days. Lotto newspapers, the list keeps going.
Players break from the 3/4 time huddles here at the Den. Looking forward to bringing you this last quarter here. Lions under no threat. Lions 18-9, 117, Crows 6-6, 42. But just need Leeton to run this game out and just sharpen up on that, sharpen up on their skills and their ill discipline, Andrew. That's the word I'm looking for. They need to sharpen up on that part of their game.
As the raffle number goes past, 97067. Some lucky one will win those fridge coolers as the ball's thrown up. Rees wins that tap down, gathered by Topoli. Back to Rourke there for the Crows. He kicks it forward, gathered by Leeton there. As Norman attempts to pick it up, he comes in hard on Hattie, and the ball's held up there. Umpire will call a ball up.
Well, the raffle hasn't been won by me.
Rees front position, taps that down into the path of Moline, gathered by Matt Hamlin. He's caught, and it's a free kick to the Crows there through Rourke.
Probably might look to give it off. No, he's thinking he's going to do it, but he'll have to kick on the line. He'll be virtually outside the 50, so it'll be a very good kick to put it through from there. No, he's found someone short.
He's looking for Doyle. Uses the body there, but he's spilt the mark. Gathered by Matthews. Gets a hand pass forward into the path of Norman, but it's through from behind.
Sam Martin runs back to the goal score. He'll bring it in with that short kick.
Finds Brad Matters. Running off is Seb Hamlin. Comes wide, looking for Josh Walsh. Gives it back to Brad Matters. He can go long, looking for Sid White. He's got separation on his opponent. Takes the mark. Chips this one high, looking for Peck. Benulis comes over the top, but the ball spilled free. On the ground there, diving in on Benulis. He picks it up, gets a hand pass back to Connolly, chips one over the top, but the umpire deems he threw the ball, so it's coming back to Lucas Moline to take the kick.
Beautiful evening for football now.
Very pleasant guy. As Moline looks to come over to the club room side. Kick has found Doyle. Doyle.
Darwin-like conditions without the rain, Andrew.
Yes, without the heavy dew. As Doyle kicks that forward, goes through the hands of Reeves. As Jack Sasse tries to pick it up, gets a hand pass back to Josh Walsh. He can go inside looking for Matt Hamlin. He gathers it. Hand passes out wide to Brad Matters. He dodges around one. Centres the ball looking for Jackson Connolly. He marks. He can chip one over the top to Tom Anderson. He takes the mark. And he'll go back and have a shot on goal, lining up for his third for the game.
This well inside Tom Anderson's distance. We've seen him kick plenty of goals from that distance. Gives himself a good long run up. Doesn't mind a distance goal either, Andrew.
No, he loves the celebration. Kicks on its way.
Not on this occasion.
Just drift to the left through the hands of Sid White for a behind.
Lions 18-8. 116. The Crows 6-7, 43. 3.5 minutes gone. Last term here at the Den.
Crows bring this in. Finds Rainbird across half back. He can come wide. He's got Matthews long, but sitting under this is Jack Sasse. He spoils on Doyle. He dives on the ball, tackled by Lucas Hattie, and the umpire says, give it to me.
Yeah.
There'll be a ball up.
No option here to ball it up below the commentary position on the club side of the ground. Patrons here enjoying the big awning here in front of the dressing rooms this warm afternoon.
Reeves tries to clear that one. It's gathered by Lucas Hattie. He's up and tackle, call the ball. That'll go to young Jones. Cooper Jones has got the kick. He'll look to send this long. Coming out at this one is Hodge. Goes through his hands, gathered by Sasse. Gets a hand pass on to Foley. Long hand pass to Anderson. He's caught high. Play on, says the umpire. Lander kicks this long. Sitting under is Shannon Butterfield. Attempts to take a one-handed mark. And the young Steele is wrapped up in a tackle there in front of the club rooms. Foley and Reeves in the ruck. Ball comes into the hands of Burhop. He's caught with the ball. Play on to the umpire. Spill three. Gathered by Rainbird. Gets a tunnel ball, but he's caught high there by Dan Foley, and he'll get the free kick.
Plenty of verbal coming from the crowd now here down under the awning, Andrew.
Yes, they're getting involved. Rainbird sends this one long. Sitting under this is Seb Hamlin, and he takes an uncontested mark. Goes inside to his cousin Matt. He can switch across to Jack Sasse. He's got Joe Foley wide. Takes the one bounce. Elects to kick this one. It's high. But Brad Matters reads it well. He's taken it on the wing. Looks to come inside. Finds Burhop, who's run down from half back. Sends this long and low. And good ball movement by the Lions. And Jake Taylor marks this in the pocket. He'll line up for his fourth.
Yeah, he started like a house on fire in that first quarter. He'll be looking to bring it home with a goal here in the last quarter. A bit of angle against him. He'll have to kick from 40. Comes in on that right foot. It's a nice looking shot. Goal umpire just stands.
Doesn't move.
Watches it over his head. Jake Taylor will be very happy with that one. Lions 19-8, 122. Crows 6-7, 43. 6.5 gone here at the Den. The moon even more prominent, away in the east.
Lions second for the quarter. Back to the centre of the ground for this tussle between Foley and Reeve. Foley wins it on this occasion. Ball's punched forward, gathered by Jackson Conley, but he's wrapped up in a good tackle by Reeves. Play on. Norman takes the mark, sends this long, looking for young Reeves, I think it is. He sends this down, looking for Hodge, and he's marked one deep in the pocket. Strong lead.
Lucas Hattie comes to the bench. Rotations will continue right till the end.
Difficult kick for Hodge.
Yeah, he's up against the boundary on that, deep in that pocket. Across the face, is it, Andrew?
Yeah, out on the full.
Dan Foley marked it, so I suggested he would take the kick.
Comes into Tom Anderson, through the hands of Sam Martin. Gives it a little toe kick, but deemed to be kicking in danger, and it'll be a free kick to Jade Hodge.
Crows will be keen to convert this one.
Sam Martin can't blame the son off for that one.
No, that one won't wash, Andrew.
He might need to go to Specsavers.
Yep, he might reckon that Howard Martin's lights are too bright.
So Hodge coming in here. Kicks on its way. Umpire likes it. And Hodge gets his fourth.
Lions 19-8, 122. Crows 7-7, 49. Just about 9 minutes gone here. Final quarter. Magnificent evening. Still as anything.
Foley and Reeves in the ruck again.
Hands on hips around the ground. Why wouldn't they? It's been a hot day.
Foley wins that tap down into the path of Moline. He's wrapped up in the tackle, and the umpire
Start again, he said.
says, give it to me. Ball comes out of the centre, gathered by Steele, kicks his high, sitting under is Josh Walsh. Mark spills free, gathered by Norman, kicks his forward, coming out from forward is Hodge, spoiled by Joe Foley, gathered by Burhop. Looks to clear this one out wide. And the ball's kicked forward, but it's cut off there by Leeton. Play on quickly. Marked in the centre of the ground there by the Crows. Young Rees, he's got young Seymour long and wide, but he spills the mark, spoiled by Conley. He gets on top of it. The umpire's going to pin him for caught with the ball. So free kick to the Crows.
The kick will have to be taken outside the 50.
Young Seymour, I think it is.
So he's looking for options.
Going to sit it up on their heads. Coming out to meet it is Sam Hamlin. He marks it unopposed.
Don't think the Crows players were reading their own player that time, Andrew.
Coming out of defence strongly is Joe Foley, but it's cut off. Marked by the Crows there. Going to send it back whence it came. Sitting under it is Josh Walsh. He spills the mark. Norman's grabbed up in a tackle. Kicks the ball from lying on the ground. Spoiled by Seb Hamlin. Cleared by Joe Foley to Burhop to Matt Hamlin. Runs through the centre of the ground. He's kicking long, looking for Sid White. He's got the better position here. And he marks in front of his opponent, Finnan, and he'll go back and have a shot. He's going to have to kick it from 50. As Burhop sees if he can get him to give it to him, but he's going to go back and have a shot. Kicks on its way, but it's hit the post. His first blemish for the day.
Lions 19-9, 123. The Crows 7-7-49. 12 minutes gone now.
Steele to bring it in. Oh, he's kicked a molly grubber. It's gone through the feet of Tom Anderson, but he makes a good tackle. Young fella be ruined that kick in. Peck and Reeves in the ruck. Peck wins the tap into the path of Tom Anderson. Gets a hand pass out to Jackson Connolly. Back to Jesse Lander. Back to Sam Martin. He's going to have to kick it on his left. He sends this forward looking for Bernulis and finds him. Good pass. Bernulis will have a shot. He's deep in the pocket. 30 out. Or 25.
He's going to finish this game, Andrew, how he started it, marking and kicking strong.
Comes in on his approach. Kicks on its way, but I think it's to the left. Lions have kicked 2 goals for the caller. The Crows 1.
The Lions 19-10, 124. The Crows 7-7-49. The scoreboard at the ground has the Crows with 1 less behind than me, but that won't matter today. That won't.
Big mark by Seb Hamlin from the kick in there at centre half forward over the top of Ryan. Looks to play on quickly and he finds Josh Walsh. Dan Foley. Dan Foley will have a shot. He's about 35 out on a slight angle. Very good mark by Seb Hamlin. He's had a good game in defence. Took a few good marks.
Just about amongst the best for 4 quarters, Andrew.
Yes, I'm not looking forward to picking the best of them. There's been quite a few contributors today.
Yeah, he's got some mates.
Dan Foley comes in and the goal umpire likes it.
Yeah, he clears the goal umpire and he clears the bank. The Lions 20-10, 130. The Crows 7-7-49. 14 and a half minutes gone now.
That's Dan Foley's 4th goal for the game.
Some good sponsors down there at the northern end of the ground. Elders Wagga Wagga, John Banson Sons, funeral directors, and Alan Harris McDonald. Those people we don't want to see, but I tell you all the time, they're necessary in society. They do good jobs when it's your time.
Peck and McCallum in the ruck. Peck wins the ruck. Down into the path of Rourke, is it? That he's incorrect disposal. Tom Anderson to take the kick. He's had a good game, Tom Anderson, after that initial injury to his finger as Bernulis tries to take a diving mark. The ball comes free and out to the boundary line in front of the Leeton box. And the umpire's called it out of bounds.
Ball in there in front of Ag and Vet Services down there in Waterview Street, Ganmain, and also Grong Grong, doing good work in the community with their clients.
As the ball's thrown in there, Picked up by the Crows in Raw. Kicks this one high, sitting under Steele and Burhop, and Burhop punches it out of bounds.
And we've got the closest sponsor there, Cummins Hendricks at Coolaman. Got those offices all around the riverina. Kate Carroll does a great job in the office at Ganmain. You can just go in off the street and have a yarn to Kate.
Ball thrown in, gathered by Butterfield. He's wrapped up in a tackle, but gets to break free to Preck. On to Jackson Conley.
Yeah, the Lions run out of ground there, Andrew.
Or Hunter Crozier, it may have been.
And once again, we've got Jason Hamlin with that regional hydraulics.
Ball thrown in, Peck and McCallum. Ball's kicked forward, tussle here between Martin and Steele. As Moline kicks this forward, gathered by Seb Hamlin. He's wrapped in a strong tackle, and the umpire's going to call a ball up. As players start getting into it. Bit of feelings, entered the game again as they're over the sidelines.
Umpires balled it up and said, we'll disperse this, fellas.
Young McCallum, he's got history here. As the play goes on, Hamlin at centre forward kicks this long, looking for Benulis, ball through his hands. And gathered by Benulis, swings around one, has a shot on goal and it's through.
No, umpire signalling touched, I think, Andrew. Late, might have been a late touch. And after all that, the Crows runner doing the right thing there and grabbing his player and taking him off before there's any indiscretions.
As Ryan takes the kick in, kicks this high, looking for Sam Martin, but the ball's punched over the sideline. It'll be a throw in. Was when I said history guy, McCallum. I think it was 2014, 2015. We all know the story. There was a McCallum involved that day. As the ball's thrown in, gathered by Rainbird. Ball comes out to Moline. He kicks this long, looking for Foley. Ball spills three, gathered by Reeves, and the ball goes over the line.
Once again down there, we'll have a throw in there, deep in the pocket, right against the goal line, goal post, the point post there. We've got sponsors there, the Ganmain Bowling Club, Coolaman Butchery. The barbecue's in action here tonight, so people can grab a barbecue for their tea. Quality meat there from the Coolaman Butcher.
Umpire to throw this in deep in the Crows' pocket. Ball punched down by Peck, gathered by Moline. He tries to break the tackle. The umpire call for a ball up.
Yeah, well, that little altercation down just here below us, Andrew, that brought the crowd to life.
Peck and Reeves in the ruck, gathered by young
Late
Reeves,
goal.
I think it is. I've been calling him young Reeves, but he's had a good shot on goal and kicked it.
Late goal to the Crows. Well done, the Crows. Lions 2013, 133. The Crows 8-7-55 with 20 minutes gone here. Dying stages here of this evening game here at the Ganmain Sports Ground. Baz has still got the moon in the top of the shot. He's got a thing about that moon.
Shining bright as Reeves and Peck back in the ruck. Reeves taps that forward into the path of DePoli. He's had a good game for the Crows. It goes wide. Race for the ball from Matt Hamlin. He picks it up. Handballs back to Sam Martin. Looks to come back inside. Finds Shannon Butterfield. He can't gather it in. Gathered by Rainbird. Handball over the top to young Matthews. He gets his kick away, handpass away to steal and looks for Doyle. He can't mark. Gathered by Norman there. Kicks us high looking for Hodge. Boiled there, but crumbing is young Rees, and he's kicked his second in a minute.
Crows have put 2 back to back with a good bit of play. Lions 20, 13, 133. Crows 9, 7, 61. 21 gone now. Crows supporters would like to see their guys run it out. Get another one, Andrew. Another couple.
Yeah, well, they've certainly matched the Lions in this last quarter.
Yep. Big difference in the scoreboard, but really it's been a pretty good game of football. We've seen some good skills from both sides. Fair bit of
enthusiasm.
Fair bit of passion, obviously.
Reeves wins that tap. Down over Peck. Ball's towed forward. Gathered by Matthews. He gets a little hand pass to Rainbird. Hand runs over the top to Norman. Kicks this one high. Sitting in front is Seb Hamlin and almost drags that one in. Reeves is going for his third in a minute, but his kick is smothered. Gathered by Joe Foley to Sam Martin, on to Zach Burhop. He finds Peck. Grubbing kick forward to Jarvis Pritchard, I think it is, over there. He's deemed to be caught with the ball. Quick play on here from the Crows as Reeves dodges round one. He goes on his own, sends this one high, but it's gone wide out of the full.
They're peppering the goal, Andrew, late in the game here, the southern end of the ground.
Yep.
They've really come alive, the Crows.
Yep.
Just a bit late to inflict much damage on the scoreboard.
Finishing the game off strong.
Yep. Oh, they can take something out of the game. Just got to correct that discipline, I think, also.
Sam Martin brings this one in. Kicks it long. Looking for Bernulis. Gathering it is... Bernulis is wrapped up in a tackle. Ball's out the back there. Race for it from Lucas Hattie. Gets a hand pass over the top of Jesse Lander. He regathers. Leeton have a running shot on goal, and they've got
another one. It's another one.
A late splurge from the Crows.
Well done to the Crows. Just adding a little bit of respectability. Still got time for another one.
The Lions have put the cue in the rack.
The Lions 20, 13, 133. The Crows 10, 7, 67. 23 and a half gone. Yeah, the Lions have stopped running, and the Crows are running. They're breaking through that defence of the Lions, Andrew. They've had trouble all day, and they're breaking through in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, they've dominated the hit-outs as Peck wins the tap this time down to Bernulis. Swings on his left. I don't think I've ever seen him kick left, but that goes forward looking for Dan Foley. A race for the ball from Matters. Ball's on the ground there and held up. Gathered by Dan Foley. Gets his kick away. It's pushed forward. Looking for Matters. And the umpire will call for a ball up.
Sam Martin urging the Lions to finish with a major.
Punched down by Reeves, gathered by Matt Hamlin. He has a round the corner shot at goal, but it's gone over the sidelines for a throw-in.
Throw in there up against the Alan Harris McDonald funeral directors from Wagga. Good throw in there from the young fella.
Dan Foley in the ruck. Bernulis tries to break through one, but he's caught with the ball. It'll be a Leeton free kick late in this final quarter.
They're paying pretty close heed to Tommy Bernulis, Andrew, and try not to give him much, with good reason. Damaging player if you give him an inch.
Yes, very dangerous. As Rainbird, he's had a good game tonight, brings it infield. It's going to come back. Kick long out to the wing, looking for Matthews. In front is Burhop, gathered by Lucas Hattie. Back to Burhop, comes inside, looking for Seb Hamlin. He's got the kick. but he's just cut off by Reeves. He quickly plays on, looking for Hodge. It's gone over his head. Numbers here for the Lions. Race for the ball from Jack Sussay. Kicks across, looking for Josh Walsh, and he marks. At fullback, can play on, find Sam Martin.
He had options either side of the ground.
Go forward looking for Lucas Hattie. It's a good mark, good contested mark. He spins and plays on quickly looking for Sid White. It's gone over his head. Regathered by Dan Foley there as the siren goes to complete the game. It's the end of proceedings here at the Gambone Sports Ground. First game for competition points. It's finished under lights.
So in this inaugural twilight game here at the Den, the Lions 20-13, 133, and the Crows 10-7, 67. So overall, Andrew, pretty good afternoon's football, really. I know there's a big discrepancy on the scoreboard, but if you take away that break that the Lions put on early, the Crows were reasonably competitive.
Yes, 3 wins for the Lions for the day, and Leeton had a very good last quarter. They'd be happy with their finish to the game, and there's some signs there for them going forward. Their captain coach Lucas Moline was very good. Rainbird, young Steele, Reeves in the ruck, give him good service. On the Lions side of the ledger, Tommy Anderson was very good. The defenders, Seb Hamlin, Josh Walsh. Up forward, Sid White in that first quarter, 5 goals, started like a house on fire. Supported by Tom Bernulis up there.
Yep.
So, yes.
Jethro Peck around.
Jethro Peck.
Strong at times around the gap.
Some of the smaller brigade there, Jake Taylor with 4 goals and Jackson Conley all contributed.
No, overall a pretty good 4-quarter effort from both sides, as both coaches will take a bit out of it. But the Crows obviously with that little bit of discipline which can creep in when you're under pressure, Andrew, but they just have to work on that.
Yep, so we won't be back here till a few weeks, Guy.
We'll be back here the day after the election, so we'll be all the wiser, I think, on the Sunday the 4th of May, the next home game.
Feeling very uplifted.
So good evening here from the Gambone Sports Ground.
See ya.